Hare Krishna. ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे. I did fasting, but I also took now prasadam, so I have full energy to take. I just completed honoring prasadam, so it is easy for me to take class. So we'll just take some time, and even if you can honor your prasadam while hearing Bhagavatam, no problem. Both are services for the Lord. It will not interfere. Of course, when we do deity worship, we cannot take prasadam, but Bhagavatam is okay sometimes, not all. So we'll do some of the verses because I'm taking many days break. I didn't want to keep much pending, so I'll try to cover few shlokas. Will not give much philosophy. Some stories I'll take to make it little light. So श्रीमद् दीर्घ चतुर्बाहुं तप्त कांचन कुंडलम् शतजाक्षं गदापाणिम् आत्मानः सर्वतो दिशम् परिभ्रमतम् उल्काभं ब्राह्मण्यन्तं गदामुहुः. Said the Lord was enriched with 4 hands, earrings of molten gold, eyes blood red with fury, as he loitered about. His cup constantly encircled him like a shooting star. So I'll revise because we are previous chapter we are in Dwaraka. Now this is again Hastinapur. So I'll just tell. We'll see what is the discussion that is going on. So it just 2-3 words about Yudhishthir Maharaj. News even reached the celestial planet about Maharaj Yudhishthir. So Sankad Rishis, they again bring back Sutta Goswami because he started uh, going for telling Krishna's pastime in Hastinapur, living, entering into Dwarka. Sankad Rishi, wait, we will hear about Krishna, but we want to know about Parikshit Maharaj first. So they again ask him, why, how did his live body, what circumstances is that? Then he says, yeah, wait a minute. Yudhishthir Maharaj, his kingdom is very nice. He did so many sacrifices. His worldly positions were even famous in the celestial planets. The sacrifice by which he would attain better destination, his queens, his brothers, his sovereignty and fame was so glorious. Then he says, O Brahmana, the opulence of king was so enchanting that the denizens of heaven aspired for it. But because he was absorbed in the service of the Lord, nothing could satisfy him except Lord's service. This is very important. All the time this point comes in Bhagavatam, so I will not take now. We will take some other time. How absorption helps in satisfying. Very nice discussion. And then he says, O son of Bhrigu, when the child Parikshit, the great fighter, was in the womb of his mother Uttara and was suffering from the burning heat of Brahmastra thrown by Ashwatthama, he could observe the Supreme Lord coming to him. So previously it is told in the 7th chapter, but again it is now detailed described here. How exactly it happened. So we'll not take the purport, we'll just read. Some of the things are very nice. We read it. Death generally involves remaining in trance for 7 months. A living being, according to his own actions, is allowed to enter into the womb of a mother by the vehicle of father's semen, and thus he develops his desired body. This is a law of birth in specific bodies according to one's past actions. When he is awake from trance, he feels the inconvenience of being confined within the womb, and thus he wants to come out of it and sometimes fortunately placed to the Lord for such liberation. Maharaj Parikshit, while in the womb of his mother, was struck by the Brahmastra released by Ashwatthama and was feeling the burning heat. But because he was a devotee of the Lord at once appeared himself within the womb by his all powerful energy, and the child could see that everyone else had come to save. Someone else has come to save him. Even in that helpless condition, the child Parikshit endured the unbearable temperature due to his being a great fighter by nature, and for this reason, the word Veera has been used. So here, the important point is uh, the important point. 1 minute. So the important point is when we are in the womb of mother, we get some realizations. But unfortunately, um, unfortunately, what happens is we get carried away once we come out of mother's womb. How it happens is there is something called Avarnatmika Shakti. This is with one air called Shat Vayu, and this air covers the living entity when he's coming. So that creates some illusion, and that illusion, once we come out, will help us to fulfill our desires. Because living entities, that realization is because of some artificial circumstances. When the circumstances changes, then the desire don't remain for living entity. He just wanted to enjoy. When living entity is suffering so much, that time he prays, "My dear Lord, please help me to get out of it." But when the living entity is in the uh, uh, because it's a very great painful state when we are in the womb of mother. But when we come out, then initially we cry because we suffered so much. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur is, as soon as you get the love and affection of relatives, friends, and all the promises which made in the womb of mother, that I'll serve you, my Lord, please take me out of this situation. It's so horrible for me. We forget. So what happened is this. There is Nammalvar. He's a very great Alvar. He's the head of all the Alvars. Like we have Goswamis here in Vrindavan for us. So Sri Vaishnavas, they have Alvars who are like great devotees. One of the prominent Alvar, the most important Alvar for them is Nammalvar, who has written maximum number of books. Like for us, we have Rupa Goswami. Like. Now, what happened is when he was in the womb of mother, he also stayed quite long. And when he was about to come out of the womb of his mother, then this Avaranatmika Shakti of the Lord, which comes as Shadvayu, which covers the living entities and gives the illusion. We all need some illusion to enjoy in this world. So we cannot enjoy. We need some ignorance. Ignorance is the main ingredient for all. When we are reading Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, we are getting enlightened. The illusion goes away. Then our enjoyment, the propensity to enjoy, and even if we enjoy also, we don't get the same pleasure what we used to get previously because there is no more ignorance refined. That is the difference. In this world, this is if people are given so much understanding of Krishna conscious, then some people get offended. Previously I used to enjoy nicely. Now you told so much. Now I cannot enjoy the way others are enjoying because always that behind the mind is there. It's all illusion. It's all illusion. That the intensity is not possible. So anyway, somebody is committing offenses, then is more into ignorance. Now here, what happened is Nammalvar, when he want to come out of the womb, this Vayu came to cover him. Then he says with his finger like this, "Stop, don't touch me." He became angry on this Shat Vayu. That's why his name is called Shat Kopam. Kopam means anger. He became angry on this Shat Vayu. That's why his name is Shat Kopamandvar. As soon as he comes out of the womb of mother, he crawls and sits under a tree. Like Sukadeva Goswami, he is walking from the forest. Same thing happens with the Shat Kopamandvar. as soon as we come out, we are coming out of the womb of mother. So this Shetvayu tries to cover us because we need ignorance to enjoy this metal body. So this is the Shetvayu is trying to cover us for our to fulfill our desires. But when it is happening to Nammalvar, so he said stop. He was in the womb of mother about to come. He said stop. So he became angry on Shetvayu. That's why his name is Shetakopamalvar. Became angry. So illusion did not cover him. And as soon as he comes out, he directly walks and sits under a tree. He closes his eyes, no eating, nothing doing, no talking, just sitting and meditating. Then his disciple Madhurakavi Alvar comes at the age when he is completely realized. So like Sukdev Goswami. I think after so many years, Madhurakavi Alvar, he was in Ayodhya and he's seeing in the south, he's seeing some special light, some star or something he's seeing. And he says, what is this special light? And he walks from Ayodhya, seeing, and he comes to Tirunelveli. It is near. This is the place where he comes, where Nammalvar, under the tree, till that he comes, Mother Alvar comes, then he sees this great scientist sitting there, and the light is just exactly over him. And then first time Nammalvar starts speaking to his disciple. And till that time he never speaks. Everybody is coming and offering obeisances and going. He's just closing his eyes. He opens eyes and starts speaking. The first time it happens like that. And wow. So that is the place where Kalpana Mata is hometown. That is the place Nammalvar's birthplace, right? That is only place. Yes, Mataji? Nammalvar's birthplace. Yeah. Nammalvar's birthplace. You are fortunate. And Mother Alvar comes and he starts speaking. Because I told I will not take much philosophy, but I'm telling story with philosophy. Just this one shloka, we can take so many stories. We'll try how many stories we can have. And somebody has some other stories on the same point, we'll see all the stories you can think about. I'll tell 2-3 which are connected to Parikshit, child in the womb, stories like this. And then we also see Sukdev Goswami in the womb. He is also not affected. He also comes out. And then we have Prahlad Maharaj. He also in the womb, he learned everything. Narada Muni is teaching. That is very much possible. In the womb only, so much realizations are possible. We have 3 great Mahabhagavatas. Parikshit Maharaj, in the womb, he was saved by the Lord here. We have Sukdev Goswami in the womb. He is already realized. And we have Prahlad Maharaj who got instructions in the womb of his mother. And then we discuss about Nammalvar. He also from the womb completely realized. He didn't want to come out on. And there are many other instances. Puranas we may get some in the womb, how they behaved in a particular way, and they start talking to their mother in the womb only. And mother becomes upset with the child in the womb. So such stories are also there in Puranas. One more thing, what happened? Parikshit Maharaj got this name when Parikshit Maharaj was very small, a small child, and because this look, what happened is Parikshit Maharaj in the womb, he was in the lap of Yudhishthir Maharaj, and Krishna was sitting besides. And Parikshit Maharaj was looking at the feet of Krishna, small child, and he was beaming. He was very happy. And then he was looking up. Then he saw Krishna's hands. Then his face used to, everyone also. So when Parikshit Maharaj was looking up, then what happened? He was seeing Krishna's face. Then he used to become little sad. And again he used to look down, look at the feet, and he was very happy. And he was seeing the face, and his face used to become very unhappy. And others are all observing. And then they ask Krishna, what is this peculiar behavior of Parikshit. He was small and he is looking like this. Then Krishna says that what happened is Parikshit, when he saw Krishna in the womb, he saw his lotus feet. And Parikshit Maharaj recognized this lotus feet. And they're exactly same. So I was so happy that this is the person who came to save me in the womb. He's small in the lap. And then when he saw the lotus face, he was seeing only 2 hands of Krishna. But the person who came in the womb had 4 hands. So that made Parikshit get a doubt. No, this is not the person. So he used to become unhappy. That's what actually happened with Parikshit Maharaj. And that's why he's Parikshit. He was observing. So he could take darshan of Krishna from childhood. That is his great fortune. And we have Abhimanyu, who learned how to, he learned the Chakra Vyuha, the formation of army in a particular way and to fight in a particular way from the womb of his mother. This is very much possible. That is the reason so many sanskaras are performed when the child is in the womb only. Because the impressions goes very, very deep when the child is in the womb. That's why mother is given 10 times more respect than father, because she is the one who selflessly serves the child, gives that love which is needed for the child to grow, and that is what is for all living entities, and that comes from the mother. And not only that, before that, the impressions she is getting from the womb are also actually are also very, very helpful for the child. That's why we tell mothers to read Bhagavatam, Ramayana when the child in the womb, directly affecting, because there is no obstacles. Directly impression goes. If they see horror movies, violent movies, the child is going to be nice, nice person with so many demonic abilities, whatever. So this is actually what happens. So it's all scientific. And what type of living entity is attracted in the womb? That is also depends. We have, like yesterday also we were discussing, Diti was attracted Hiranyakashipu into her womb. This is very much important to know how in the womb only so much is. Yeah, sure, Mataji. You can raise your hand. You can unmute and speak. Okay, end of class. You can take Mataji. Now also you can speak. You have so much today. We are cool. I don't want to take much.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dhanwas Pranam.
Yes.
Guru Prabhu, I would like to share that when I was pregnant, our Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Jaipatka Swami, had visited, and then he told me that the consciousness of the child starts from the 7th month, after the 7th month of pregnancy. Till then, the body is forming and all, and the consciousness comes only from the 7th month. So he told me to read loudly the scriptures. This he told me around 27 years back. So that's why I wanted to share this, because how true it is. It is how true it is. So that time I was in Muscat. So I was searching for Bhagavatam. It was very difficult to get Bhagavatam and all over there. So and we didn't have online like we have Veda base and all now. So I just found one book from one devotee. That was the 7th canto. And full pastimes of Lord Narasimha Dev I recited, And then I can see today that my son is so attached to Lord Narasimha Dev, very much attached. He'll wear all his yantras and he'll worship him. He loves him so much. And the same thing happened to my daughter. 6 years later, just 20 years back, I I had taken second initiation, and then I had to complete the first canto of Bhagavatam, which I hadn't finished. So I took that an opportunity when I was pregnant, and I read the first full canto, from the 7th month till 9th month, very elaborately and all that. I can see that my daughter is so attached to the first canto of Bhagavatam that she has by-hearted all the shlokas, and she loves to recite the shlokas. She likes prayers of Mother Kunti, then Bhishma Dev, all that. And I thought I should share. So I'm like sharing with all of you,
Yeah,
Prabhu.
so wonderful, Mataji, so wonderful. Thank you very much. That was really
Yeah, so
very,
maybe all new mothers can really believe that it is true that the child listens to you from the womb.
yes, Mataji. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Anybody else want to share on this point? Yeah, nice. Sarangi Mataji gave it. Yes, Kalpana Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji, I could very well relate what Gaurangi Mataji told. She's my god sister actually. We are from the same yatra in Sharjah. She just now recently shifted to India. I could very much relate what she has told because I have two children. I entered ISKCON when my son was 5 years old. I could see a vast difference between my daughter and my son. This child which is born after being Krishna consciousness, when our entire consciousness changes actually, even though being from a medical background, I was not so keen. I was okay. Even for my son, I read Bhagavad Gita with no understanding at all. My mom told me to read Sundarkand, Bhagavad Gita, and few shlokas. My dad used to say we should be always be happy. These are the principles, and I used to see to it I'm having healthy food and all the bodily conscious things I was doing, not a spiritual activities because I never understood what was the meaning of it. My mom told just as a ritual I did. Even though my son was born on an Ashtami, actually, it was on during Navratri, he was born on Ashtami. But I could see the drastic change in my daughter. It was as I'm a very ardent devotee of Gaurang Mahaprabhu. So I was always used to meditate on him and, some attraction. I do not know. I entered ISKCON, listening to his bhajans. I was attracted by the qualities of Gaurang Mahaprabhu. So on and on and on, like so many instances there, I was very attracted. And the entire devotee circle guided me so nicely. Before I planned for my pregnancy, they told me what and all has to be done. Every devotee has contributed some literatures to read. It could be conception and craftsmanship. Somebody told the Kapila's instructions. Somebody told to chant. Somebody told for Nashing Kavach. So many things they told me, and so many sevas they engaged me actually. Right from Chandan Yatra, I gave the first Bhagavatam class because of my Siksha Guru. She told me I was 5th month pregnant. She told me to give a class. It was an Ajamila story. I still remember the word to word I studied. Every day was engaged, and I was so busy whole day. I could my child actually. She's so interested in all these seva, no, in deity worship, in listening to shloka, even though it be very playful. Cooking, it was very shocking for me at a very 2.5 years, 1.5 years there. Mama, can I come and help you in this? I can cook for Krishna. It was so surprising. Mom was asking how could a child will come and help you in all these things. And the most surprising was it was like we never sat and taught her anything. It was like automatically she learned. Being the second she used to learn. And what happened is never I sat and it was like randomly going on how we do Aarti. She was listening. But surprisingly, she recited the entire Mangalacharan. Not somebody told and sat and nor in the class. Even in the class, if she sits children's class, when she was 3 years old, she used to run here and there. And like playfully, she used to listen the shloka. And if she has by heart, she will come and tell me. If I'll tell her, she will not tell me. But how these people are by hearting, even I was surprised. And the whole Mangalacharan, what my son used to say after the age of 10 years, she, very joyfully she recited. It was a big surprise, and whatever she does, and her name also is Gaurangi. It luckily she was born on Ekadashi, and it was according to her astrology, the name has to start from G. Banaswami Maharaj has predicted as per the stars, it should start with G. So we and I consulted my Siksha Guru, Sachi Yashoda Mataji and Ramkrishna Prabhuji ki Ganga Devi, Gaur Priya, Gaurangi. So these were the thing. I was so attracted. We'll keep Gaurangi Mataji karke. So we kept Gaurangi. It's happened how Krishna fulfills your desire and how the child is so well groomed right from the womb. I still feel how much I'm able to give her the spiritual environment. I do not know, Prabhuji, but I see to it her spiritual conscious increases. We all please pray so this shall grow up very nicely and be in the very good. Thank you, Prabhuji.
So one more. Thank you for sharing. It was so nice. Actually, many devotees have nice experience because of this, and because the mothers were responsible, Krishna will reciprocate. They are taking the responsibility before the child is conceived only. Then if they don't take that responsibility, then they'll attract some some demoniac souls. Then it will be a problem. Like what happened in Germany, I was sharing this one couple were there. They are proper disabled, little elderly, and in the dream they got another proper disabled who told, "I want to take birth in your house." Then the couple, both of them, husband and wife, both of them got the dream. They shared with each other. This Prabhuji, who is proper disabled, he left his body long way. They said he want to take birth, but they said we are already old. We cannot have children now. And then they were thinking what to do, and no, we cannot have children now. And he want to take birth. They asked why. He said, I want to preach in Germany. That's why I want to take birth here. Then after a few days again he came in the dream and he said, no need. I selected my couple from whom I'll take birth. And then what happened? After few months, then they were some Indian couple. They are all staying in Germany only. And then this they went to temple. This elderly couple, and then they saw many devotees are there, and one small child in lap of his mother or somebody. They asked, what is the name of the child? And they told exactly the proper disciple's name. He said, really? Who gave the name? And this couple, they got the child and then they went to Bhakti Vigyan Maharaj. And Maharaj, he don't know all these things. He just gave the name and he gave exactly the same name for proper disabled. Then this German couple understood, yes. He already told that he will select some couple to be born in Germany. And he selected them and he appeared. He said, I wanted to do some service to Prabhupada in Germany. He wanted to preach there. That's how many souls who practiced half and they have left, but they did not complete. They enter into devotees family and they will continue practicing. And very great souls will appear and they will do great service to Prabhupada's mission. And Prabhupada also told, this generation which comes after that, they'll be very great devotees because they already have cleared so much of their anarthas and they're at the stage of Nishtha and they're taking birth. Then definitely it will be very amazing for. And the parents, they will deliver the parents. That is the advantage. If mother has taken so much hardships to take care of the child and help them in developing good consciousness, and after that, if the child really takes up Krishna consciousness so nicely, they will go back home, back to God and take their parents. Of course, they need this also. They need sufficient. They have to practice themselves also. It's not just liberation. So here, this is another important thing that I was telling previously. Also, I was sharing 3 things in our karma. What is from previous life and what is still from the womb of mother till first 4 years. This is also very important thing for the child's consciousness, and this is all very scientific. Everything that is given in the Vedic scriptures, all the sanskaras and all, it is all very scientific arrangement. We have to practice this system. If we don't do it, and every culture has some systems like this to help you to practice this type of systematically do it. It is nothing, because it's a very, very personal philosophy, yes, and everything is a person, and we have to do it in a personal way. Then things will work. Now, what happened? Now, like Prabhuji was discussing about public display of affection. This is actually what happens in the present situation. But previous ages, this is all this love and all what is shown in which comes in entertainment industries, and people are trying to imitate that. Very, very superficial, very superficial. It does not have much substance. It won't last long. They'll live together happily ever after is not possible only. It's all very superficial. What is very important is that trust and that level of understanding, which is very, very deep. And also the subtle aspects will be realized when the child in the womb. Otherwise, you will live very, very superficial life. You cannot understand only things, very, very gross. Now, if you see animals, plants, we can see the sensitivity and then they can be understood. But now they lost it because the samskaras are not there. If you grow them very finely from childhood, the consciousness is there. Children, they're very sensitive. Even with like if you see the stories from Ramayana, they are able to study the nature. They are communicate with the nature. Lord Ram is Hare Krishna. I'm sorry, actually, uh, I didn't log in from Prabhuji's ID. So as soon as I get down, then somebody else become the host. Again, I had to log in with Prabhuji's ID. So it took time for me to get. I was discussing about how Parikshit Maharaj was, sorry, about Lord Rama, how people of that age were very special. They were able to communicate very nicely with the nature. So this incident we all remember from Ramayana. In Ramayana, what happens is as soon as Lord Ram wins the hand of Mother Sita, and when they were coming to Ayodhya, suddenly they could see the birds are flying in a making particular directions, and there was a heavy wind that was blowing, and it was very some ill omens they were seeing immediately. They were able to study the nature immediately. They are seeing the wind blowing, and suddenly it was so much noise was coming, and so many things are happening, and it is nothing to do with means now if we see wind blowing and all, we cannot understand only. Immediately, Dashrath Maharaj could see that, oh, this is some ill omen. And then he asked Vasishta, "Okay, what is this?" Then he says, yes, there is some danger going to happen. But then he says that, but the birds are flying in the south and the animals are also going in the south. That means its end will be nice only. I immediately could relate to nature, communicate with them, and they were able to very nicely. And not there are many stories we can see, many instances we can see in Ramayana, where Valmiki describes how they are able to communicate. This is a very subtle way of understanding, and this comes in a very cultured and very high level of consciousness. And now what is happening, because people do very gross. I was telling yesterday, na, we deal with missions, we become missionary. The consciousness is very gross. Yeah, even Yudhishthir Maharaj could feel the disturbance of nature when Lord Krishna ended his pastime. Yes, that is very much true. How it is happening? Because their consciousness, they can enjoy also very nicely. The relationship also very deep. Now the relationship becomes superficial because people are becoming more gross. I was telling yesterday, when that travel in China, when he told, why don't you make a mechanical system? He said, as soon as I start using a machine, I will start becoming mechanical because my heart will get contaminated and I'll not be able to relate to people nicely. Now, because everybody has a mobile smartphone, they're so much relating to the machine, they're not able to relate to people properly. They're not able to communicate. They're not even in the same house, they communicate with each other in the mobile or WhatsApp. They lost a settle way of enjoying. They are enjoying very gross way now. Now, because when you cook, there is love when the mother is cooking. Then that is what gives more happiness, satisfaction. Then you bring from Zomato, Swiggy, put in micro oven, and some topping you add and you eat. It will satisfy the tongue. It may satisfy the mind, but not the heart. That is the reason most of the people remain unsatisfied, no matter how much they are enjoying, because it is satisfying their tongue and mind only. Heart is not getting fulfilled. Previous ages, people were so subtle, they were able to experience all sorts of pleasures. That is the reason their hearts are satisfied. If heart is satisfied, people can go for spiritual activities. Otherwise, that is not possible. Why Varnashrama is given? To make a person's heart satisfied. That's why Varna system is arranged. To make people's heart satisfied in all levels. When with your work, with your family, with your relationship, with your other every aspect, the heart is. That's why they don't need much missions. Machinery and facilities and luxury don't satisfy. What satisfies is how you can nicely relate and enjoy. And they were also having luxury, but not in a very gross luxury. They had nice way of enjoying, and they had, but it is much closer to nature. That's how they enjoyed, because they are able to see even the plants and the trees, even water also. This experiment is made. You take to the water and you chant some nice prayers, or you glorify, you say I love you or something, and then they saw the arrangement of the molecules in water in different you shout at them, you speak something or give some music, so immediately the molecules differ. If you give name to the cow and you don't give name to a cow, the cow which has names and they are called with names, they give more milk than which don't have name, because you are dealing in a personal way. This also happens. So these are all certain level of consciousness, which is what is needed for us. When we are becoming more and more Krishna conscious, practicing our sadhana, we become more and more subtle. We become more fine, refined. We'll be able to relate very nicely and get really benefited in that way. Same thing. And it's actually applicable in every aspect. Like if trees and plants are also, you give them nice, speak them nicely, nice music, the fruits, the flowers which comes, they're also nice. That means immediately they can feel that. Now nobody feels, everything is mission. Tractor will come and do everything, machine will come and cut everything, and it goes to the factories there, process there, you come to the table, you eat from the beginning till end, where the seeds are generated in the factories and where it is made in a very mechanical way, processed in a companies with the machines, come to your plate, delivered. Everything is completely gross. Even though it may be very tasty and materially very much, it is not going to touch, fulfill the heart's need, and because of which persons remains unhappy and sad. This is, all the things are like this in the world. So, yes, Kalpana Mukherjee, you had anything?
Yes, Prabhuji, this can be very well related in this medical field, how it is, Prabhuji. We used to hear one class of O.P. Kapoor, Dr. O.P. Kapoor from Mumbai. He used to conduct series of class for all the medical doctors yearly once, especially during the rainy season, every Sunday. So what he used to tell, previously how the medical field was, people used to see the pulse and judge the disease, right? And how the heartbeat was there, how later on these machines got invented. And he says this particular way, the ears have become important. That's what stethoscope gave. These are machines have been invented because the specific organs have lost their function, actually, because of the lack of intelligence what human being later on had, because they no more believe on the consciousness, the subtle element beyond that. They just believe on what the machine shows. Even if you say tubercular disease, the sputum, the cough which they test for the tubercular bacilli, they will stamp you your tubercular when they show more than 5,000 organisms is seen. That means they do not have tuberculosis or what. They have tuberculosis inside, but that much will come, then only it comes out in the sputum. People do not understand this, and they randomly stamp that, okay, yes, because the tendency to develop a disease, that formula, even the doctors do not understand, the patient doesn't understand. Your tubercular means और tubercular mind बन जाता है पहले. कैंसर हुआ है तो कैंसर माइंड स्टार्ट्स बियॉन्ड, वो पहले ही हो जाता है. माइंड से बीमारी चालू होता है, then the entire picture starts. This concept, it's very difficult. The modern medicine doctors and the patients को समझाने जाएंगे. No, it is not like that. Straight away, the doctors shift them to a psychiatry department. These people are talking nonsense करके. It do not. Even if you see practically, ये practically कैसे होता है? When a person is admitted in IC, or suppose the doctor gets a report in his hand कि बाबा इसको cancer हो गया, a doctor thinks twice to tell that to a patient. Why? At that time, why don't they show the report directly of a cancer ho gaya? The patient will immediately lose his life, maybe in a few months or two, because of that. The doctor sees to it very cautiously. They will first call the relatives, they'll explain the scenario, and they will see the situation and explain to the patient, because that word of assurance and the doctors, that subtle element affects the nature of the disease very practically. Even when we see in the maternity ward, when the patient is delivered, at that time the doctor immediately doesn't say the sex of the child. Why? Because until the placenta doesn't come out, either if the male child is born, if there is a social pressure on the male out of joy, they might bleed a lot. If the female child is born, that will be a huge complication. So they will see, the doctor will see how many child she has. They will always see the history. Okay, this is a 7th child. Okay, this is a 4th child, especially in the Muslim community. They will say, okay, they needed this. Oh, okay, it is a precious child. After 10 years, she's conceiving. Okay, okay. And we will just say, ah, बच्चों अच्छा है, बच्चा ठीक है, रो रहा है. देखो, देखो, बच्चा हो गया. They are more eager to see the sex of the child. They will not immediately show until the placenta comes out. Then they will declare. These are the very subtle element which even the doctor understands, allopathy understands, but the science is so limited. They try to educate. What these other alternative science people, they try to educate. Ayurvedic people, homeopathy or Reiki or these things. Very true, Prabhuji. What you're telling, it really true. The conscious is more subtler and very sensitive rather than gross features.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for sharing. So what happens is when we go with subtler and we can release Bhagavatam, like now Prabhuji takes morning Bhagavatam. He's trying to give more and more subtler points, even Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. That actually makes us relish what is happening. We can go through the experience and more same story we can relish more and more because we are able to see the subtleties and we can understand them. Otherwise, it is not possible. Many people they are just um, they are just very uh, the birthday or parties, you bring the cake and then you eat and then you are out with your own things. And what is happening is people want to stay alone. They want to be very reserved. This is what happens. They become isolated. They cannot trust anyone. Because previously you can trust many people. Like this is what is in India now also we can see. In the villages, everybody knows anything about everybody. There is nothing called privacy. They know their history and they know all people who is there in the house, what is their problem, what they do. Everything knows but everybody. This is not so much, and people don't have problem also. They themselves will come. You know what happened. My son did like this. He spoke like this. My daughter-in-law did like. People don't have any problem because and at the end of the day they all stay together and it was working, but now it won't work anymore. And maybe some because Kali Yuga, some other change will come because again Vedas has to be restored for quite a long time because this is Vedic culture will come back, but I don't know when it will come back. It is now the way Kali Yuga is progressing, it is going so fast, but it is not. It is should come after 4 lakh years, but it is happening now only. Maybe some changes will come, but I don't know when it will come. Vyasdev wrote, he has a purpose in writing and the purpose will be fulfilled. So, yes, we somehow, without taking, I I could have taken some stories from Puranas, but anyway, I did prepare maybe some other time. So some stories, some Puranas also we can have. There is so much to discuss and understand, and it's very nice. And I thank all of you, sir, because you are there. I am sitting and discussing some things. I very much appreciate your valuable time you are giving and trying to attend. We will tomorrow. We will not have proper purports. But day after tomorrow, I will try. I will let you know. We will discuss and reading some Puranas, some stories which are relevant, very good for us. We can discuss them also. And I have some other topics to share. And we have so much of our time. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.